I can give a little update on
on the national. Let us know how that went.
Yeah. So before I went, I was hunting for a Grail card and I got it. This is the Bill Russell. I paid more than I wanted to by quite a bit, but it was.
And what's the grade? I can't see.
It's a PSA 3.
Okay.
It's pretty clean.
Yeah.
No creases. It's not centered well top to bottom, but side to side it is, and that doesn't bother me too much.
Right.
But I was able to buy it from a dealer who I bought from before, who I like, Steve Taft. He's the star basketball guy. Hoping to get him on our show. He said he would join us.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And it wasn't even his card. It was like he was
consigning it for someone?
Consigning it with another guy, but I said, is that guy here in the show? And then he called him, and so it was complicated, but we got it done.
Good.
So that was my main objective. And then I could relax after that. I'll show also I bought this set from Steve Taft. And I'd never heard of this. So that was also what I was telling people. Remember, I said, I just want to buy stuff I didn't know existed.
Right.
And this is a 5-card Laker set. And it was the Forum gave these away.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So that's Wilt. That was Magic, Wilt, Kareem, Elgin Baylor, and Jerry West. And so, again, it's like a ticket size shape, and it's really beautiful art. I mean, part of it is because you talk to these dealers, you learn more of the story, but he was like, oh yeah, I know the artist, and I actually got this from the artist, I didn't go to the games. He goes, I got this from the artist. And it's a complete set. So I bought this from Steve. I really like these.
It's interesting. When I saw it first, it looked almost like the Fleer Provisions. It wasn't obviously, but it looked kind of close to that.
But it might be the same artist, to be honest with you. It looks so much like that.
Yeah.
Here, let me wear my glasses so I can actually see the name of the artist. Terry Smith.
Okay. Interesting.
So that's something for us to investigate, the Provisions. And then second day was like usually my fun day. First day I'm usually intense and stressed. And then second day, it's like I can relax. I got the Bill Russell, and I found a great dealer, and I found this card, which is on my list. It's a Grail card, and that's the Musial rookie.
Nice.
And I really appreciate color. He kept telling me, "You're not going to find a better looking 1.5." I know for some people they're like, "Why would you buy such a low grade?" But look at the color on that thing.
I mean, admittedly, people, I know, and I fall prey to this, but people are too focused on the grade thing. It's like, if it looks good to you and like you want it, that's what you should get. It's your collection, not everyone else's collection.
Right.
So.
And honestly, like I looked at it, I hemmed and hawed, and I'm like, my thought was like, if I were a grader, I would have given this a 4.
Right.
Like, there's not really creases. There's definitely fading and some spots on it. But it doesn't look like there's anyways, it's in great shape. The back has a little mark on it you barely notice unless you really inspect it. And I've always felt Musial so underappreciated.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say he's top 10 in terms of hitters. I don't know. I mean, we'll debate that some other time, but his statistics are crazy.
I mean, he used to be, before Rose, he was the NL leader in hits.
That's right.
So...
That's right. So I was able to get that as well as a bunch of other slabs from him. And then the last thing I'll show, it took me a lot to get this, is like, this is a weird quirky card. It's a star basketball card, which I'm a huge star basketball collector.
Right.
We're going to have some of those guys on our show because I talked to a bunch of them.
Sure.
But this is they had the license for 3 years, and then they lost the license. Right. And the guy still started, he's continued to print anyways in 87. And he printed a 10-card Michael Jordan set, and this is one of them.
Nice.
The lore is that they did some sort of like cease and desist letter, and he had to stop printing in mid-print. So these cards are really rare. Like they were already rare to begin with, and then because it got in trouble, it got even more rare. And honestly, I'll see only a few of them every year, and I go to a lot of shows. It's very rare. The person I bought it from did not even know really what this was or how they landed it. I mean, they had it priced appropriately.
Right.
But yeah, so just a little quirky thing. I thought I'd buy one of these outlaw star cards.
It's kind of like not obviously the same thing, but like the Honus Wagner sort of like lore of like why they pulled the card, or whatever. So
yeah, has a story behind it, and I collect Jordan, so that was fun.
Yeah.
But in terms of like recapping the show, hobbies very well.
Yeah.
Very well. I got there before 10 one day, and it was huge line to get in.
Yeah.
I went with a friend who's not a card collector, and he was like, "Is this like every show?" I was like, "No." Although the East Bay card show in the Bay Area, I think, has huge lines.
It does sometimes, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So I said I would think major metropolitan areas, the popular shows will be crowded.
Right.
So hobbies I was delighted to see that they kind of organized like vintage dealers huddled in an area.
I heard that, yeah.
And then modern, and so I could just focus my time in the main area,
right?
Main vintage area. But it feels to me like it doesn't matter if it's vintage or modern or Pokemon. There's a little bit of Pokemon, not really.
Right.
It's a sports card show.
Yeah.
All the tables had action and had people. It wasn't like. So I think the hobby is really alive and well. I know other people have said this, that they think there's a lot of collectors that just do both now. That and I do collect modern, not the same like vintage. So both of those were happening.
Right.
It is funny how the National has become this kind of like spectacle. Because there's an area like the breaking area is so loud and noisy, and like screaming and chanting, and that's the area I stayed away from. I was like,
right.
I didn't even walk into it. I could just see it happening, and I was like, wow. But they had that segmented in an area, and then there's like the museum area. The museum area is where all the heritage auctions,
all that kind of stuff.
And that you could be, if you're a sports nut like me. You could spend a half a day just looking at all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's so much to see there. So I feel like the experience has become like this multi-layered, like, okay, you do the museum stuff. If you're into breaking, you do breaking. If you have business, like if you want to grade cards or get autographs, you can do that. I never even stepped into the autograph area.
Yeah.
Because I knew that wasn't part of what I was going to do. And I kind of love the through the mail stuff anyways. Feels more personal to me.
Right.
Anyways, yeah. So, and I was only there 2 days. I couldn't speak to the volume. Seemed a little bit more on Saturday than Friday, but about the same. Chicago is a great venue too, because Friday we got dropped off and picked up by my friend's wife, but Saturday I had to drive in myself, and I was worried about it. The traffic was heavy, but it wasn't too bad to get in, and it's just $15.
Okay. Not bad.
And they even have a walkway directly. It takes a while, but from the parking lot into the building. I mean, I think most people know this already. I didn't know this because I'm so focused on cars that the second floor is this barren area where you can just sit there and break on your own or look up. It's really quiet and you can sit there. So I spent an hour doing that there. So anyways, I'm really happy that it'll be Chicago again next couple years.
Yeah.
And then Detroit. I look forward to Detroit.
Yes. I was saying off camera, like, Detroit makes a lot of sense for me, I think, because, I have family there, so I can go visit and just hang out with them. And also I think it'll be interesting to see, because I mean, Detroit is like in the midst of a rebirth, I feel like, as far as the city goes. And so I'm like I think they'll be, the city will be excited to be able to do something like this. Yeah.
And I hope they have a facility though, that will be suitable for the volume of traffic. And
I feel like I heard about where I don't remember the name of it, but I think they said I was listening to a podcast about it, and I think they said it was like the 16th biggest venue in the country or something.
Okay.
So I don't know how that compares to Chicago, but whatever. So it sounds to me like it's probably enough, I would imagine, but who knows?
And we have never been to a show together. That would be fun.
Right. We've been to obviously local shows together. But nothing of this magnitude.
Not the national and not the West Coast Card Show, which I feel is a mini version of the national.
Yeah. Yeah, and we still have talked about Strongsville, so hopefully maybe next year we'll have to figure that out. But
yeah, one of these days. Before Detroit, we'll get to Strongsville, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had. I also heard. I mean, as far as like that there were actually like lines. Each table had its own, like, you couldn't just walk up. Like you had to like wait for people to like kind of move out of the way before you can get into the table.
Okay, so I spent most of my time in the vintage section, and that wasn't the case. Sometimes it'd be huddledness, but you could worm your way in there. Right. It was that upstairs area where I think my guess is that those dealers are paying less because it's not as nice.
I feel like those were the newer dealers. Maybe. Is that right?
Maybe.
Yeah, yes. I'm not sure.
And that, I was. The first day I stayed on the first floor. I didn't go into the huddled mass. The second day I said, okay, I should go in there. And I did find a lot of good things there.
Yeah. Was there vintage up there?
There was a combination.
Okay.
It was like a typical card show you'd see in San Francisco, where it's like, it's not organized. There's a mix of both. There's new, there's young. There's young dealers like in their teens. There's older dealers. Right. I mean, not teens, maybe college age kids. You wonder how they pay for those tables. Those were expensive tables. But that seemed really chaotic. And yes, there you could barely see anything. You're like I can say that between the tables was like 6 foot. There wasn't there was not enough space. And I kept thinking, why are they doing that?
Yeah, some guy was on another podcast I listened to. He's like, one advantage of it is if you're looking at one table, you can just turn around and look right at the other table.
Right. That's right. But I love this community, and I love how like it was so crowded that you kind of had to work with the person next to you. Mm-hmm. Like if you're looking at stuff, I would always be like, you want to switch space now? And I was looking through a box, and then you could tell he was looking at me, looking through the box. Right. And said, here, let me move this over here, and you can look at it while I'm looking at it, so you don't have to. It was just
right.
That was not a good experience. I think they'll fix that next year. There must be some weird restriction where they can't use the whole floor.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So it was a great show again. Of course, I always look forward to it, and it is the promise of like, you can find any card, and usually multiple of any card.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. I'm glad you had the opportunity to do it. I know you obviously booked that with a bunch of family stuff and whatever, so it was great that you were able to fit it in. So.
Yeah. And my family was great about me disappearing for 2 days.
That's nice.
Yeah.